Yo, this is Saint Sergi, and you're now listening to Valley Views on 101.5 FM. Check it out.
And now you are tuned in to Valley Views with your host, Hector.
Yo, it's Fernando. Shouts out to Valley Views, man. They played me on the station. I was like, let me make you a jingle. So this is my jingle I made for this. This is what I had to do. This is Valley Views. This is what I had to do. This is Valley Views. Got me singing like, eh, eh, eh. So what you want? Got me singing like, eh, eh, eh. So what you want? Got me singing like, eh, eh, eh. So what you want?
Oh, yes, folks. So again, that was Estamos Bien Bad Bunny. We're back here, folks, for the second hour of our show. And it's, once again, a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending when and where you're listening to Valley Views here on KROJ 101.5 FM here in the San Fernando Valley. It's just, again, just a pleasure to be here with everybody, a pleasure to be here with our guests, a pleasure to be here on air and just rocking it, a pleasure to be here with Blazerk, who has his show from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Blazerk Radio Takeover. Not only does he do all kinds of eclectic music that he puts out there, he himself is a DJ, but also not just the music, but also music from local artists here from the San Fernando Valley. And it's just always great to hear that show as well in the morning. I'm always looking forward to the Blazerk Radio Takeover. Thanks, in the morning. And then also, big shout out to all the folks that he brings in. He's been bringing in guests and doing his thing, Blazerk, that is. So big shout out to him. And we want to, before we bring in our featured guests here, is really talk to, we have Alex El Indio Arts that's here with us to talk a little bit about a art show that's coming up, and there's really it's really timely as far as like some things that are happening. So we want to make sure that Alex kind of tells a little bit about what's going on June 16th, right? June 16th. But Alex, first of all, good morning. Get that mic a little closer to you there, Alex. But good morning, first of all, Alex. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. Thank you.
It's great to have you here with us as well in the studio. It was good that you reached out to us. As soon as you reached out to us and we got a chance to talk, I was like, yes, let's have you on. One, because it's timely. There's a couple things happening. But tell us a little bit about the Canoga Pop 2 and a little bit of your artwork as well.
So it's being run by Retro Relics. It's an antique mom and pop shop out in Canoga Park, run by Dean and Vita. And first they're asking, so they did it last year, and they're running it again this year. And last thing I didn't know last time or the earlier today, that it's free. That's the main thing. It's free.
Right. It's a free community event.
Right. No, not the event. Yeah, it's free. The event's free, but for artists to post up
as well.
Yeah, it's free.
Oh,
usually you got to put down. He knows.
Yeah.
You got to put down like 50, 100, 150, 200, and you got to hope you make your money back. No, they're like, it's free. They got their own donations, and like they're just making it available to the public for free again.
For the community.
Free 99, yeah.
Exactly. So it's free all the way. Free all the way. So, and tell us a little bit about, so there's a deadline coming up for art. I guess artists to apply, and we know that it's free. But tell us a little bit about some of that information as well.
All you'd have to do if you're an interested artist, musician, or craftsperson is send an email to retrorelics@gmail.com, and in the subject line you want to put Canoga Pop or Canoga Pop 2, and indicate that you're interested in vending. Shoot some samples of what you have or what you do. And hopefully they get back to you within the next, like they did with me, like an hour less.
Nice.
And with that, they asked me if you know anybody, and I'm like, who do you think you're talking to? You know? So like, I was spreading the message,
like preach.
Yeah. So I'm putting it out there. And anyway, so the deadline for the artist to apply is May 25th, which is Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday.
This coming up, the 25th, and just as I explained, do that, and they get back to you. I mean, it's really up to them to decide who might be able to get in, but they're looking for more family-friendly material.
Yeah.
And so you might want to go that way, and hopefully get accepted into it, and then just come through with your art.
Awesome. Excellent. And I got a chance to also interview and talk to the event organizer yesterday. And this is the message from our interview that we had yesterday. So we'll go ahead and hear this and then have El Indio here wrap it up with talking about some of his artwork that he brought into us as well. And then we're going to have our featured guest after that. But here's this from the event organizer at Canoga Pop 2.
My name is Vida, and I'm an owner of a little antique store in Canoga Park called Retro Relics, etc. Last year, as we were all coming out of the pandemic, as an artist myself, I realized how difficult it is for makers, artists, musicians who haven't been able to show any of their work through the duration of the pandemic. So I decided to help others out by putting together the first annual Canoga Pop, which was pretty amazing. 150 artists and musicians signed up, and it was a 4-hour evening event during the Canoga Pop Canoga Park Art Walk. And it was on a Thursday night, and it went from 5 till 9 p.m. And people were so happy. All the artists were so happy with their results that they wanted me actually to do this monthly, which, of course, it's not feasible whatsoever because of the amount of work that is required. But I did promise that I will come back again this year. So we're putting together right now Canoga Pop 2, which will be on June 16th. It'll be from 5 till 10 p.m. or, when it gets dark. I'm not going to hold anybody to staying until 10 o'clock. And so far, we have about 120 artists and musicians who have signed up. And we can always use more. This event is open to absolutely everybody. It doesn't matter what your age is. It doesn't matter what your skill level is. I would love having children showing their work. In fact, some of our most successful artists were under age 10 last year. So I love to see everybody participate. It's open to everybody. So if you're interested in participating this year, all you have to do is send me an email at retrorelics@gmail.com with a few samples of your work and telling me about who you are and what you do, and I'll get right back to you. All the requirement is that it is family friendly. That's it. The deadline is this Wednesday, May 25th. By midnight. Please submit your work. Don't be afraid of rejection. If you're a first-time artist, if you're an experienced artist, it makes absolutely no difference. This will be an amazing opportunity for all because you can show your stuff, you can sell your stuff, and it's absolutely free. There are no fees. There is no commission. This is a community event that I put together with the help of many, many neighbors and friends to make this possible for all of you. And if you'd like to come and see the show, remember, June 16th, 5 till 10.
Awesome, y'all. So again, that's coming up very soon. So for artists and also for just family, right, to come out and that's just another community event there. And lastly here, Alex, before we let you go, just tell us a little bit about your own artwork. So obviously you're an artist, you submitted all that good stuff. So tell us a little bit about your particular art form that you have. There's a couple pieces here that you actually have gifted the studio. We have one up here and we have this one that you just brought in. So tell us a little bit about some of your art pieces here, just in general, like the form that you use, the format, the types, and stuff like that.
It's essentially it's digital art that it's eventually printed out. But if you want it as digital, you keep it as digital. But the concepts are more working around historical figures and people that we know through books and passed down knowledge, and to kind of bring them up to date and sort of make statements that they might have been making back then. One thing that I didn't mention though about this Canoga Pop thing is that it's taking place in a certain part of Canoga Park, and that would be on one side of the metro. On one side of the metro, it's the barrio. On the other side of the metro, it's coming up, and there's a word for that. It's called gentrification. And so what I'm looking at is that these people are allowing the opportunity for other people that don't have the means to put down money to vend. And so what I'm really looking for are our own people, Raza, on this side of the border, on this side of the, not border, but, the tracks, basically. Yeah. On the east side of the 405, on the east side of the, that one border that runs through, it's basically the MTA or the orange line. It's very divided there. And I'm really wanting for us to come through and represent, because if we link and we shake hands, we could just keep doing that the next year and the following, because if we don't, it goes to somebody else. And I don't want that side of Canoga to keep moving on to the east side, or on the other side, the bad side, and then where do we go? Where do we go? I really want to make it a statement that we can show up and then we can represent.
There it is. Okay. Well, no, we appreciate that. We appreciate you being here and also talking about the community event that's happening. And so once again, art submissions will be Wednesday, May 25th. That's when they're due by midnight. And then also the event itself will be June 16th. So if you want to check out any of that information, we'll also be putting it in our community announcements online as well for more information there. Again, just another community event happening here. And thank you so much for Alex just highlighting that as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for your art pieces here that will live here in the KROJ studios as well. Yes. And it's great to have you here with us as well. And thank you for reaching out and tuning in and being a part of our community as well here at KROJ. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
And with that said, we're going to go ahead, and I'm really excited to also bring in our featured guest of the day. Here we're talking about the owner of Under the Bun, y'all. We're talking about Luis Sicairos. And first of all, Luis, buenos dias. Good morning. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Good morning, Hector. How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm great to. It's just always nice to be here. I saw you yesterday, as I saw you yesterday, you were definitely busy. To say the least. Yes. You were literally sweating. It was kind of a cool evening, and you were sweating. We'll talk about why all that sweat, just a bit. But one of the things we just love to do is the first thing is just how's your mind, body, and spirit, like right here, right now?
It's good, man. Like I said, first of all, thank you for having us on this platform. So we appreciate that. Like I said, listening to your show and putting on artists and acts, all the stuff that you guys are doing. It's awesome. So I really love to be on the platform that you're giving us to be on and to have a say so or speak our word, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly the vision and mission that I have here for Valley Views and really KROJ, just to really, it's our community here, right. And this is our community public radio, and we want to do that. We're trying to do it as well as we can, representative of our community as we can, and really have the voices heard of our people of our community here. And tell us who's the lovely person. You need to do the intros, okay? Who's the lovely person sitting to your right, my left?
Well, you know what? This is my lovely wife. We've been together for a long time. So it's my best friend, my ride or die. So.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And does your wife have a name? I mean, should we know?
She does, but I'll let her say it.
Is she low key?
Yeah. Hello, I'm Jerry Ann.
Woo, okay. Sorry, we had that mic a little high there, but Jerry Ann, it's definitely great to have you here on the show. Like you said, I know you're a little shy, but I don't know. We're gonna probably get Jerry Ann to say a couple more words than just her name. Right, Blizzard? I think we got this.
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, she looks pretty comfortable already in the mic. I mean, the way she leaned into the mic, it's like, she's ready. She's ready. No, that's beautiful to have both of you here, really. And one of the things, it was a pleasure meeting you a little while ago. Now it's been months. Really, last year is when I first met you, and I gotta say, since I first met you till now, it's always been just so wonderful to just always see you guys out in the community, and really to from my point of view, the role that I kind of play in the community, highlighting folks and things of that sort. It's just always been nice to see your growth. And I just to see how a lot of folks gravitate towards your your business in general, right? Under the Bun, and then just to see you guys kind of hustling. But the smiles that you guys have too, and it's good to always talk to you too, Luis. Sometimes when we get a chance after an event, and because like there's all the behind the scenes, right, that people don't know about that we're part of,
right.
And it's always nice and a pleasure to always talk to you when I can at the events and even after, just to like see how things are going too, But tell us a little bit about how did this venture started? Like, I mean, were you always like a chef or a cook, or like, tell us about that.
So, the business started out of a passion of mine. I mean, I love to cook. I'm not a chef per se, but, I'm a home chef, right? Mm-hmm. So I love to cook and do all those things, but I've always loved burgers. So, obviously, when I wanted to start a business, and this was maybe, I don't know, like maybe 10 years ago that I really wanted to do this, but, we had to take care of other things that were a little bit more important at the time. But, that's where the passion comes. I've always liked, being in the kitchen and cooking and, talking to customers and doing my thing. That's my jam, as they say.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So you literally been cooking, know?
Yeah.
And so it started with that, and then like just from your own just passion, I guess, being at home and doing it. And what made you kind of propel to that next level and say, you know what, I'm not gonna just cook at home anymore. Like I'm gonna take it outside to the streets, but how did that kind of like, I don't know, did you have like your own talk with yourself first, like with the family? Like how did that go to really make that leap and that step forward,
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, like I said, I had the passion for this a long time ago, but to actually open a business, I mean, as you've talked to a lot of people, it takes a lot, you know what I mean? Financially, mentally, emotionally, all that good stuff, right? But I think I came at a point in my life where, I had worked for a lot of major chains and for all the big players in the business. And for me personally, I've always wanted growth. Like, how can I get to the next level? Like, as you're climbing the ladder and all this corporate, right? Like, what do I need to do to be next and next? And that was a challenge that I always put out to anybody that I've been employed for or worked for. But unfortunately, not everybody has that same feeling, Right. It's like, oh, let me hold you down, or, when it's my turn, or when I'm ready to let you grow, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And so the higher...
almost like at someone else's kind of timetable, not your own.
Exactly.
Yep.
And, and the part is I hated and I finally got fed up is asking for permission. I've made a lot of money for a lot of people, and never do you get a thank you or, hey, I appreciate you or stuff like that. And to me, I'm not a real sensitive guy, but we all know that we need that little attaboy every now and then, right?
Absolutely.
And so, the higher you get, sometimes the less and less you get that, right? And so, I needed my own validation, basically. And I finally just said, you know what? If I don't do it now, I don't want to live with that regret that I will never be able to say, hey, I was there, I did it, I failed, made it, whatever the case may be, you know what I mean?
But at least you tried it.
Exactly. Well, they say the first thing always when you want to become an entrepreneur, the first thing is you have to start, right? I was talking about it, and I came up with these plans, and, I had all this great stuff going on, but I never started, you know what I mean? And so, so like I said, I just finally got fed up, and, one day, and it was really one day to the next, I just said, my last employer, here's my keys. I've talked to you guys several times about what I want to do. It doesn't seem like it's moving. I'm done, because the thing is, when I've been in the industry for over 30 years, as I explained in your bio. You know what I mean? So I don't know everything, but I do know a lot of everything. You know what I mean?
And when you have that much experience, though, that experience counts for a lot.
Well, the thing is that to me, it's priceless because you can't hire somebody off the street that's going to have the same experience that I have. Not only the passion, like what I love to do. Like I said, talking to people, growing people. And it's just, I love it. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't do anything else. You know what I mean? And
you're getting hyped up just talking about it right now. I can tell. Like it's just like it's like a little like you're awake now.
Well, like I said, that's what gets me going. You know what I mean? And like I said, I think the thing is that it's all in here in your brain, right? Like the minute you stop thinking about what's next, how do I continue to keep growing? Whatever it is, it could be doing it, it could be reading a book, going online, learning, whatever it is. When we stop doing that, then you just stay stagnant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I've never been that. You know, like I said, I've always wanted what's next, and so this is my big what's next. You know what I mean?
Like big time.
Yeah. So we've been at it for what? It's been like a year and a half. Yeah, about a year and a half now that we started this
like
business.
really went for it, huh?
It's crazy because it was just like yesterday. I was looking at some pictures and we're like, wow, I remember
Already, yep.
the first day, you know what I mean? And like you said, you talk about the growth, you know what I mean? It's phenomenal. The support that we've gotten from the community, from our friends, from our family, and it's just,
I see that. I mean, even yesterday, we were both at the San Fernando Outdoor Market. I'm providing the entertainment, the music and all that.
I heard you.
Right? But I always like to go out there and, say hi and all that, of course. And, y'all were busy.
Yeah.
I mean, those lines.
It was long.
Y'all have some long lines for the burger sliders. I mean, long lines.
Yeah.
And, y'all were all like working your butts off, like literally all of you guys, and I was like, which is a good thing, but I could tell it's like, that's the other thing though, right? How do you manage that kind of like, cause it's adrenaline / I don't know if it's stress or what it is, but cause there's pressure, right? Like, cause you got all these lines, you gotta like cook and, it's all fresh in that sense, but like, how is that? Like yesterday, like what mind mode set were you in, like as you're like doing that,
Well, first of all, let me say,
because he was sweating.
Yeah. well, let me say, like I said, when we started, I was always on the grill because the thing is too, like you have to train people to properly do what you want executed, right? So let me do a big shout out to Albert and Justin and my two daughters. You saw my daughter; she's the baby, right? And she was working. So shout out to them because. When dad calls, they're always there, you know what I mean? And like I said, without those two guys, they're a big piece of what we do, you know what I mean?
Nice.
And usually I let them cook because, they're at the level where they can continue what we're doing.
Nice.
And the product is consistently coming out, right?
Yep.
And so, because like I said, I just don't let anybody just cook our product, right?
Yeah, this is your baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but those guys take a big load off what I do, you know what I mean? And when they're on the grill and doing what they're doing, then it frees me up to be able to, continue the product, but to talk to the guests and do what we need to do, right?
Yeah.
So like I said, they're in Vegas, they're at EDC right now. So if you guys are hearing or still up, you know what I mean?
They're just waking up right now.
Yeah, exactly. So shout out to those two. Like I said, man, without them, we don't move. So I appreciate.
How dare
them.
they went to EDC?
Yeah.
And didn't invite us.
But you know what? It's got to be a balance, right?
Yeah,
they work all the
absolutely.
time, and we're working every weekend, so they need their time too, right? And they're young, they're 21 plus. So.
Yeah. They got to live a little.
Yeah.
Dad. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly. So
be like, where'd the invite though? Like, at least let me say no. Like,
man,
I have a feeling I can see Luis at EDC.
Did you see me? Yeah.
Well, just the fact that like your music selection
with a fanny pack on, and no, bro.
Hey,
that would not
actually,
be me.
bro, my parents went. They went with me my first time going. It was really fun, man. It was cool. It was just crazy. It's like an adult like playground. It's a trip, but
that's a trip because like even like when your music selection, I was like, oh okay, like and like, but that's the beauty about music too, though in general, right? Like,
It's a beautiful thing.
And in a way, it's kind of like your team because that's kind of neat, like your team that you have because you got like a nice variety of like folks that like it's a family affair there in that sense, but it's like you bring all these folks with you and together you guys are growing and but and so it's kind of nice to have that pressure, but also it's like.
It's intensified, yes,
right?
and especially for what we do because obviously we have the tent, we're a pop up, right?
Yep.
And so all eyes are on me, and us, right? While you're cooking, they want to make sure, hey, is he talking? And where's my order? You know what I mean?
Right. No chit chatting.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to have laser focus for sure, and make sure that you're doing because the last thing you want to do is have somebody wait 30 minutes and then you mess up their order, right?
Yeah.
That's the worst, and we definitely don't want to do that. We will make mistakes, but very few. You know what I mean? That's always the goal. But you have to just stay in. But this is something that I that was given to me, by the man upstairs pretty early on. That I've always excelled where there's a lot of pressure. I'll move right through it.
Cool.
And that's just me. I don't have time to chit chat or do this. Hey, I'm focused on what I'm doing and I'm going to be the best at it.
Yeah.
And I've always had that mindset.
Nice.
So,
you're just transferring it to this new level here.
Yeah. And now, and now it's, but the beauty about now is now that you you reap whatever rewards you get, right?
Right. Yep,
so
yep,
now
yep.
you know, like, you le chingas, you know, you're gonna get it. You know,
right?
right?
Yep,
You're gonna get it. Before it was like, you know, like I said, you know, you only get what you get, you know,
Right.
paycheck, right?
Right,
9 to 5, whatever. But you know, yeah. So now you really what you put into it is really what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
You know
and
what
how
I mean?
and how is that too? Like managing yourself. Like obviously your kid's a little older, which I think probably helps. You know, because you know businesses in general can consume a lot of you too, right?
Yeah.
Especially like something like you know your business that's food related, because you know you got to be at events, especially like you know kind of like the DJ life, I guess, in that sense, where it's like you have to literally be at so many events like on the weekends, right? Because that's really where things are happening. But how do you try to manage that? I guess you know.
So you know, early on, and what I learned now is like, you know, we try to schedule events a lot, you know, way in advance.
Yeah.
So it helps us with the schedule because then we know when we're working, so we know where we're going to be at. You know, I have a board up in my room, right, and I put everything on. You know, I send it to the boys so that way they know, and everybody's kind of in the loop.
Nice.
But you know, you have to be really. Time management is something that as an entrepreneur you need to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know, for dates, you know, all this stuff, being on time, all this good stuff.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you need some wifey time too. You know.
Well, you do, you know, and you know, and like I said, you know, I mean, like I told you, my ride or die. I mean, she, you know, you got to give it to her. She works full time, right, and then she's still on the weekends and during the week. She's helping me.
Bro, you hustling because I saw you. I saw you yesterday, like you know, walking around and like you know.
Hat on my back.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Finally, huh? It just took you to be on the radio to finally say that. But how is that for you as far as like, you know, seeing that girl? Obviously, you've been, you know, part of it, like, and seen it, but like, you know, like from the inside looking in, like, how is that for you? Just like seeing like everything that you guys have built together and seeing Luis sweat so much, you know?
I know. It's amazing. I'm here for him for anything he wants to do, and I back him 110%. It is a challenge for me because I'm trying to balance, you know, my full-time job, you know, and helping him with the business, you know, family life.
Right.
Our daughter does All-Star Cheer, so we have a lot of traveling with that. So I try to balance everything, and it is a challenge, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah, no, and I see you guys. You know, you guys like look happy while you're doing it too, though. Like I see the way you guys interact with customers. I seen you at different ones now, like from the Pink Motel to the not A1A Day over at the Valley Fest to of course San Fernando Valley to the Shadow Grove. I remember stopping by. You know,
shout out to all the San Fernando Brewery.
Yeah, San Fernando Brewery
and Shadow Grove. Yeah.
So it's just great. Like I see how you guys also have like these. You make some good connections. Like you guys have this really good way of connecting, and then it's great to see you guys at these events. You know, but that's also like part of like that part of the business, right? To make like I guess relationships are important.
Yeah.
You know, just in general too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think relationships is pretty much almost everything.
Yeah.
Right? When you come down to it, you know, it's like you meet some great people coming a long way we've already met.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Other business owners, other like-minded people, you know, stuff like that. But it's nice because you get to pick their brain too, especially the ones that have already done it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you try to get information from them because not everybody gives you information. But you know, but you know, exactly. Why is this guy asking me? You know, but you know, some people, you know, some
like
people
you do your own taxes. I'm gonna do it for you.
But you know, but that's the relationship and that's the community. You know, like you gotta have to ask. If you never ask,
right,
you won't know. You won't know, right? So you have to ask. You know, so I'm always asking. Even like before, when I was doing research before I actually started the business, I would go out to like the food truck Grubhub Fest.
Okay.
And I would talk to a lot of food truckers, and you know, and like I said, not everybody gave me information.
Right.
Others were like, you know, F you, but but other ones, you know, they talk my ear off forever, and that's awesome because, like I said, you need that. You know what I mean? Because that's how we continue to keep growing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so you know, if you can't give information, you know, there's certain things that you can and cannot give. It's okay, but you know, as long as you share your experiences, right?
Yeah.
Because, like I said, that'll help me, you know, not make some of those same mistakes.
Yeah, no,
right?
absolutely. And I think that's so beautiful that when you do find folks that are willing to kind of share and like, you know, that in a way they support that, you know, and sometimes it just goes to show that, you know, people are just trying to really as they're already shining, like, why not shine the light on someone else too, you know?
Well, here's the thing, you know, and you'll find this out in I think it's any walk of life in business, you know, it's just like there's room for everybody.
Yeah.
No matter what you do in any walk of life, there's room for everybody.
Yep.
You know, God, you know, does his thing and everybody's will have their time, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Because like I said, you know, I wanted to start this so long ago, but and I was like really close because the food truck was really what I wanted to do first. And, you know, and we went through some things and we were about to get it and then it didn't happen. And, you know, I was bummed for a long time, but there was a reason I think that it wasn't the right time.
Yeah, it just wasn't meant to be at that moment. Yeah.
I really wholeheartedly believe that because now it's like you meet people, doors open up, like that you're like it's crazy because you're like, there's no way that this and this happens without the man upstairs. You know, it's just like it's crazy.
Sunday,
it is Sunday.
I'm telling you, look, you know, we our kids are Catholic, and you know, we went to San Fernando. That's our church. You know, we go there, and you know, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you all this stuff, but I'm telling you, man, God is real, and as long as you believe and ask, He will provide for you, man.
Yeah,
good times, bad times, but I'm telling you, and we've been through some stuff, bro. So you know,
and you guys are here.
Exactly, we're here. You know what I mean? And you know, it's funny because like businesses, you know, especially in the food industry, it's like. I think it's like 90% of the businesses that start in the first year, they don't make it. They just don't make it. The turnover is so high. Industry. It really is. It really is. But I'll tell you what, though, like, I don't want to give away all my secrets, right? But you know what? You have to take care of your customers. Take care of your employees. Take care of your customers. And the product has to be, at least mediocre, right? Because there's some places that I go to that it might not be good, but you know what? They know me by name. You know, they always take care of me. They go out of their way to take care of you.
Right.
That's where you want to. Yes, it means everything to me, especially. I mean, I know I'm more from the old school, right? You know, you got millennials, Gen Z, all these people, right? And sometimes the things don't match up, right? But at the end of the day, they want to be treated like people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and so that's priceless when you can afford to put out a good product and be able to take care of your customers. You'll see that in time stuff will start to grow. And it's going to go your way. You know, you just got to put in the work. The work is the only thing that is it doesn't come. I mean, you got to hustle. Everything you got to hustle, man.
And that's when the blessings start coming your way too, you know. It ain't going to happen if you're just sitting on the couch.
Oh man, I'm telling you what.
You can't just wish for it.
No, the work works when you put it in. You know what I mean?
In a way, you're teaching your kids that too, though. You know, like, and without even having to say it. You know, because you're doing it. And the fact that you decided like just to do this, and it's been like a year and a half now of doing it. And like I said, I just see how folks actually gravitate towards, your menu items, which I want to talk about next, So tell us what's on that menu now. Come on. But trip on this, right? Like we've talked about, and again, that goes to show though how important like those relationships are,
right?
Because we've just talked about that piece and a couple other stuff. We haven't even got into the menu yet, But that's all part of it, though, right? It's like how you build those relationships, how you build community, and then of course your product here, But tell us a little bit about first before we get into that menu. Under the Bun, what was up with that name? And it stuck, but tell us.
Before I go into that, just what you touched on earlier, I think it is so important because like I told you, nothing is given in this world, right? And so going back to what you were saying about my kids is that I try to teach them what's there for them, right? And by doing the work, right? So my son, he's a fashion designer. He's out in New York.
Nice. All right.
We send
Big
him to
shout
school.
out to your son.
Yeah, Mr. Nick. So we send him to school for that, right?
Nice.
So he's developing his line.
Nice.
He started last year in the pandemic.
Cool.
He's working in the industry now, and then bartends on the side in the New York bars.
Oh,
right.
Must be poor him.
Yeah, exactly. Poor him. So but he's now doing his own thing, right?
Yep.
And then my daughter now has started like her own like little podcast.
Okay.
Called Overlook Media. So make sure you guys follow
her.
She's into music just like her dad is, right?
All right.
So she loves everything. So her job, or what she's trying to do with this brand, is to all the unknown artists, right? Local artists, not so local, but to give them light.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so that's what she's trying to do with this podcast. Oh.
Second. I think we got a little disconnection. I think Luis got a little too happy right there.
Man, he's got a family of hustlers, dude.
Yeah, everybody's hustling. Though,
But that's what I'm saying though. Like I'm trying to tell them that, look, I worked for one job for 26 years, bro. Right? And at the end of the day, I have a good 401k, but that's about it. And all the relationships and the people and the mentored, right?
Right.
So that was the great part. But at the end of the day, it's not there for you, right? And so that's what I'm trying to tell them. Use me as an example. They're still young, and I want them to really become go-getters to go get their own because nothing is going to be given. And the more you work to develop your own brand, doing your own thing, will get you to where you want to go. And I'm the happiest I've ever been, Hector. I'm telling you, bro. The happiest
I can see it in your face. Both of your faces. Literally, you're litty right now. I don't know if you're really litty, but
well, not that, because I have the coffee, right? but that's not Spike. But you know what I mean.
Or who knows, baby?
But
Happy Sunday.
But that exactly. But that's the thing, guys. Is that. If anything it's taught me, that's what it's taught me. Is that I wish I would have done this, but like I said, it wasn't my time.
Yeah, but you know what? It's such an inspiration because you're still a youngster, but obviously you're not like in that young phase, But point being, it's like it goes to show me too that it's never too late to just do something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because look at you now, right? Like you're thriving. You're like in a whole different phase of your life. After working for a job for 26 years and decided to take that leap forward. Yeah. And look at you now, right? Like doing it kind of like in your own way, in your own fashion, if you will,
So one of my favorite, I have two favorite movies, but one of my favorite movies now recently is The Founder. Have you guys heard? Right, the McDonald's story.
Oh, The Founder. Yeah. I thought you were gonna say Frozen, but no, it's
maybe my daughter. But anyways, so. He had started a bunch of other business before he actually did what he did, and that propelled him to where he is now, or where the company went. Right, but he was 50 years old when he went out and got that.
Right.
When
Think
he went
about
out,
that, right?
So you talk about inspiration, right? And you say it's never too late. It really isn't.
Yeah.
And I tell my friends that all the time because they're
You're
like,
living proof. You're living proof.
You're like, Louis, it's too old. No, bro. Like as long as you can breathe and you can physically get up every day, then
go for it.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
So no, that's beautiful. See, I'm just getting inspired right here. I really am. Like Lisa, I'm really honest and authentic with my stuff, and like I feel it, And tell me, so let's go back to the name then. So like, tell me like some of that inspiration for like coming up with the name Under the Bun.
That menu was that?
I'm hungry.
So the name Under the Bun, right? It's got a meaning, right? So Under the Bun, obviously you think of the bun, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you think of everything that's in between the bun, right? Because all that's in between the bun is what makes the burger, right? Or in my case, the slider, right? So, Angus beef, right? 80-20 blend, nice, fat to meat ratio, right?
Nice.
You got the American cheese, sauteed grilled onions, right?
Okay.
Lettuce, tomato, and then a nice crunchy thick pickle, right?
Wow. Crunchy pickle. All right.
All those things in between, right, is what makes that slider what it is, right? Yeah. So for me, Under the Bun, what it means is that what's inside is what makes the difference.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, gotcha.
Right.
Well, on top of that, you have, when we talked earlier before you came in, automatic. It's the wordplay, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you got it.
Well, that's part of it, right?
That reels you in, and then, there's further.
Yeah, and then the further, the deep part is that everybody has something to give, and what's inside is what makes it special.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. We all have it.
Yeah.
You have it, you have it, you have it, I have it, we have it.
Man,
right?
this guy's like,
we all have that.
You need investors, bro. You need to invest. Like, let me know. Like,
hey, forget motivational Mondays. We got motivational Sundays right here.
Well, you know what? Like I said, I try to read a lot and listen to people that, like I told you, I've done it in different walks of life. Music, because I love music, right? But any walk of life that people have been successful, that have moved on to the next. Inventors and everybody that's doing this, like, why can't it be us, right?
Why
and
not?
Especially, you talked about earlier, the Latino community, right?
Yeah, straight up.
So my Latinos, it's like, bro, like, and the one thing, and I don't want to offend anybody or anything like that, but the one thing that I ran into now starting this business is that we the Latino community, we hinder ourselves sometimes.
Yeah, we
you
cut
know
each
what I mean?
other off. Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's competition, but as long as it's friendly competition, you know what I
No,
mean?
it's cutthroat, bro.
Right,
It's
and
like-
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like
shouldn't be.
We run into like, bro, why are you cutting me down, bro?
Yeah,
like
right.
we're Latinos, we should help each
Can
other
help
rise
each other,
up.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because every other community's doing
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
right? They help each other and they move
Yeah.
up. So why can't we do it?
Yeah.
Right? That's always been my
Yeah.
biggest thing. Is like,
Oh, yeah.
I
there's-
remember I do this art stuff, and that's why I've held back for so long, like to really push my stuff. Is like because I know the politics are going to be there,
Yeah.
like, and I'm still seeing them, but luckily I have stuff that
Yeah.
people like.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's always going to be there. That's we were just talking about that
like
with
we're supposed to
another
be familia,
vendor.
you know,
Yeah,
like-
but it comes into play.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like I said, at the end of the day, for me, character, is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So like
absolutely.
what you say, what you do, make sure you do that, because at the end of the day, your word is the only thing
Yeah.
you have.
Right.
The only thing. Think about that.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing you have. So. My name, Luis
Yeah.
Sicairos, that
Palabra,
it is what it is,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
hopefully as we're building these relationships, people start to see
Yeah,
and
exactly.
interact. And like you said, the law of attraction, right?
Yep, yep,
Right.
Absolutely.
Stuff just starts flowing
starts
to
coming.
you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yep.
You
And I
got to
think
do it right.
You got
know
to
what
do
I
it
mean?
right, and I think the other thing, like, what we I think we talked about this before, like when it comes to that competition, and it was like, my thinking on this, because I cover so many different entrepreneurs, pop ups, and stuff like that, and sometimes I get to see some of like that
It's a
nitty
little-
gritty and like
yeah.
the cattiness or like
Yeah.
the feistiness that
Sass.
people have, and for different reasons, right? And sometimes I just think it's more like personality, like kind of like traits that kind of clash. But in general, what I try to tell folks and put out there is, look, the universe is big enough for all of us.
Yeah, straight
For
up.
all of us. The
Yeah.
universe is expansive. It's massive.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you shouldn't, like, the only competition you should really have is with yourself.
Right, right, yeah.
I mean, I love the friendly competition because it only kind of makes you better.
Right.
It's like, it's a way to kind of improve and like kind of force you to kind of like continue to thrive. But end of the day, when it becomes like this cutthroat stuff, that's not competition.
No, that's hating. That's hate.
Yeah,
dude,
that's different. But I love like your attitude too, Luis, because you obviously have some life experience
Right.
that has helped in
Yeah.
like in this world.
well, I'll tell you what, I've definitely mellowed out over the last
Yeah.
years. Obviously, having kids, right? We have
Yeah.
three kids, so that helps a lot. But yeah, if you would have met me when I was in my 20s,
Yeah, a whole different.
you
a whole
might not
different
like me,
Luis.
bro. You might not like me, bro. I was
Who are
me.
you? Like-
Yeah, who is this guy? Yeah, I mean, I did some stuff, but
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, man. But like I said,
Yeah.
everything moves,
Yep,
and you got to
yep.
learn from this to make this better. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
So
yeah. And-
all the
and-
moves you
yeah.
make, bro, like right now is gonna control what happens
Yeah.
5-10
Down
years
the
from
line.
now.
You got to
know
think
what I mean?
future. You got to think
Yeah.
like that long view.
And
you know?
learning from your lived experiences,
Oh, yeah,
right?
for sure.
Because you don't want to make the same mistake one too many
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
But and tell us here, like, what are some of the things that so the menu itself? Let's talk about the menu itself.
So the
Like,
menu, obviously,
yeah.
we I just explained that was basically the classic, right?
Yeah,
the one
yeah.
that we have, and side
And
note,
excuse me if I start drooling or my mouth gets watery.
I'm
as
worried you
hearing
brought
this.
samples, dude. You did some samples.
no, I didn't get up early enough because we were at the market last
yeah,
night. Yeah,
exactly.
I didn't go to bed till about 2-3 in the
Oh,
morning,
okay,
man.
exactly.
So but yeah, the one that I just explained, that was the classic G. And just a
Yep.
side note, so everybody. It's funny because you hear the stories like when people start making some money and then they become millionaires or whatever, they name boats after certain their favorite whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Cars, right? So my ode to my wife, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's called the classic G, right? So what is her name? Jerry Ann.
Ah, okay.
Right?
The classic,
So classic G,
Oh,
right?
I like it.
Yeah,
nice,
so-
nice.
This
so
guy
I-
has like everything has like some like meaning behind it. Like
Yeah, a
It-
lot of intentionality.
it
yeah,
has
it's like
to-
it's, yeah,
It has
purpose,
to,
yeah.
bro. Yeah, and so like
True
I said,
passion.
so
Yeah,
my
yeah.
first burger was named after my wife.
Wow.
Oh,
That's props
So-
right there.
Yeah.
You know that was probably
So-
why you're getting those bendiciones. From the
Wow.
from the higher powers upstairs. You
There
Happy
know.
wife,
There you
happy life.
Yeah,
I know.
you gotta keep it that way. Oh, but
She's all smiles,
hey,
like-
hey, but
So
we
that's the
argue.
G.
Don't get it
And
twisted.
so that
We
means,
still
that means
go
Jerry,
back and forth, man.
hey, so Jerry Ann's actually the G up in this house.
Yeah, exactly. She is the G. So
You're the G.
She's an OG, like she
so
said.
yeah, so that's the classic G, and then our second slider was Mr. Bacon, right?
Mr.
So
Bacon.
Mr. Bacon, all the buns we use is a brioche bun. It's a locally sourced out in San Diego. It's a local company that we use. So brioche bun, it's a European bun, sweet, kind of like a Hawaiian bun, but it's got a nice taste. It's very fluffy,
very
so
fluffy.
it's great, and it's used more on gourmet burgers.
Yeah.
Okay. So we use that, and then the Mr. Bacon. It's got applewood smoked bacon, right? Nice thick cut, not that cheap stuff. Right?
Chewy. Yeah.
And then we put the crispy onion strings that we make in house, right?
Nice.
And then it's got the cheddar cheese, and then we drizzle it with our barbecue sauce.
Ooh,
So pretty simple, but just straight to the point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
But those flavors, there's layers of flavors.
Everything has to have a flavor profile. You can't just put stuff together and be like, oh, this is gonna, you have to. It has to be thought out.
Right.
And obviously 1,000 taste tests, right? I went through maybe. I would say over 20 barbecue sauces before I went.
Really?
Yeah, decided on this one.
Yeah.
We did a lot of
work
barbecue.
on that.
There's a lot, but that's the number 2 seller. Sometimes it's the number 1 seller.
Okay.
And then the last one that we have, because these are the 3 staples.
Yep.
The last one is Oh My Swiss.
Oh My
Okay,
Swiss.
so
Oh,
My
nice.
Swiss. So Oh My Swiss has arugula, has Swiss cheese, has sautéed mushrooms with a little bit of butter and a little bit of herbs.
Little sweetness to go with it. Yeah.
Nice buttery taste. And then it's got the garlic truffle aioli, which takes it to the next level.
Nice.
Yeah, it's got a hint of truffle, but the garlic a little bit of, I can't tell you
That's like a
everything.
little-
But it's got a little
Of course.
everything.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
citrusy, nice taste.
That's going to be some nice explosions of flavors in your taste buds.
Definitely. When you take that first bite, I'm telling you, man, it's just
Lights out.
it's something that you've never tried before. You know what I mean?
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. So so those are the 3 staples that we have.
And then don't you also have some fries?
So we have
You've
some
experimenting with some fries. I remember that.
So we're doing some. We call them the cheesy chips. That was the
chips.
only name I could come up with. That one. Not very. They don't like it, but that's what I came up with.
Cheesy chips.
Yeah, only because they have cheese right on the chips.
Yep.
So so they're house made chips.
Nice.
They have the American cheese on top. That's nice and melted, right? Then it's got our sauteed grilled onions and then my own special sauce on top.
Ooh, okay.
So that's kind of my take on animal fries, right?
Yeah.
So everybody, we brought them out for a little bit, and people they started gravitating,
Nice.
because it's still a potato, but it's in a chip form, right?
Yeah.
So it's got that nice crunch on there. Yeah, and then like I said, with that velvet cheese when it's melted on there, it's
So
just
good.
it's nice, man. It really is. So
That's why you have those long lines. Like folks just waiting and waiting.
Like
I
I
literally have to pre-order like when at these events. I forgot to do it this last time, But I was like, I was gonna go over there, and I was like, never mind. I was trying to feed my musicians, and I was like, it's okay.
Yeah, you got to get to me early. Well, that day, and like I said, I was on the grill, so I was in no phone. I just put it away.
You're focused.
Yeah.
You're focused.
So,
Beast mode,
But we've done other ones too. I mean, I have an arsenal of sliders. I just haven't brought them all
Those
out.
are just like the classics.
Yeah,
that you
those
have
are
right
the
now.
3. Yeah. Because it's you can only do so much in a pop up.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So when we get to the next level, there's gonna be more stuff coming
That's
out.
cool.
So
That's cool.
and we do have a new slider that probably make the end of this month, maybe the beginning of the month.
Ooh,
so
okay.
make sure you're looking
Look
out for that too.
Look out for that.
Yeah. So
and then as we're kind of almost coming to the end here, but tell us,
No way.
I want to
No
believe
way.
it or not,
No
believe
way.
it or not,
Quick.
no way.
Quick.
That was an hour already.
That was an hour, but
You talk too much, man.
hey, I'm just here listening, hey, I got taught that, you got 2 ears, 1 mouth, so you do twice the listening, than you do the speaking. But tell us a little bit more about just moving forward. Like, what's your vision for those things that you can tell us right now? Like, what's your vision in the next, 2, 3, 5 years? Like, what are you thinking, Luis?
So I've got a lot of goals. Now that I've started this, it's like you can't stop me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
love that.
It's just like I see so many things, like I said, with the doors opening up, and it's like the sky is the limit, man. We as humans can do whatever we want to do. Whatever we want to do. We just got to say right here, put it in your brain, say, let's go get it. Right? You write it down, you put the vision board up, you look at it every day, and you're like, you want to get up the next morning because there's things that you want to accomplish. And for me, I feel like, I don't know if I want to say, but my window I feel like is smaller now, right? Because like I said, I'm in the later part, right?
Yeah.
But as long as God lets me move forward,
you can keep doing it.
There's a lot of things, Like I said, I want my title. What I want personally for me is I want to be known as a restaurateur. So, right, a restaurateur is a person that is skilled and knowledgeable in the industry and it's pretty much like the top of the top, right?
Like
so
all kind of intricacies
everything,
of that industry.
from top to bottom, anything.
Like, what you want to know? Like,
Well, especially because you've already built something. You know,
well, we started.
Literally.
The foundation has been laid, and you know, and we had to take our time with it and grow it slowly. You know, all my followers are all organic. I mean, we don't have a lot, but you know, but they're all organic. It's nothing I've bought or anything like that. It's actual people that are following.
Exactly.
Us, you know
that know you, have some connection to you. That's really the best. You know.
Yes, it is. But you know, everybody loves the 20,000, 30. But you know, it's for
sometimes it's
for
noise.
Instagram.
Sometimes
it
it's
is.
noise. You
it
know?
is. You know, I'll tell you this: quality over quantity.
Any day.
Any day of the week, bro.
Any
day of the week. So you know, but my vision, like I said, there's a lot of things I want to do. I have other concepts that I want to start that I've already been talking to my wife about. She's like,
the G's ready.
You're effing crazy. She's like, you're crazy. But you know, like I said, I just everything is like fast forward. You know, thinking what's next. So you know, obviously we want to move into a truck. That's hopefully what I want to get into before. I know some are already kind of started, but that's still my goal. That was my goal for 2022.
Okay.
So that will happen. It's just a matter of time.
Yes. We're almost midway.
Exactly.
We still got time. You know?
So that's
he works under pressure, man.
Well, I'm telling you, I feel like
December 30th, watch. Buy it.
I'm hit you on 31st. Like,
no, it'll happen way before that. You know, it'll happen way before that. You know, Tupac is one of my favorite artists. And Tupac, I don't know if you know his life and everything, and obviously the movie came out, but I feel kind of like that. Like that moment, he knew stuff was coming, right? And so when he made the double platinum album and he had all these songs, right? Like,
so much in so little time.
You're like, he's not dead, bro. He's somewhere, right?
Right.
Because all this music came out. So that's how I kind of feel like we need to lay all this body of work out before, you know, whatever happens, right? So that's my thinking is like, I want to start moving and start moving. No, but definitely the truck, then we have something for next year already that is, I can't tell you too much because it's not written in stone, but it, you know, it'll something that's,
a little extra,
well, it'll be something where it's more, you can come to me whenever you want.
Awesome. Beautiful.
You know what I mean?
So, okay.
So that's
little
in the works, for next year.
Beautiful.
And it's local too, so
beautiful.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, we have that in the works, and then like I said, I got some other stuff that I want to collaborate with a couple other vendors.
Beautiful
stuff that I want to do. So, but the big picture is, like I said, I want to open up different concepts.
Yeah.
You know, and I want to be under one umbrella and have my own corporation.
Love it.
And I'll be this and that. Yeah.
Ooh, love it already. So, well, we want to just thank you, Luis, Mrs. G, for being here with us and really rocking with us and really sharing so much. It wasn't just about Under the Bun, but really about life, inspiration, and how to it's never too late to just go for it. Yeah. And to our listening audience, we want to just thank you so much for rocking here with us. We're going to go ahead and go to station identification, but we wish you much love and good vibes, y'all. Peace.
Well, before we go too, I want to make sure that we shout out San Fernando Auto Market, right? Because they've been really good to us, right? Oscar over at My Valley Pass, right? Because they've been phenomenal. You know what I mean, with all this stuff that's been going on. But shout out to everybody that's helped me in any which way possible, like yourself.
Beautiful.
That continues to talk and and like I said, there's something for everybody. You just got to find out what that is.
That's it. That's it. Alex, do you want to say anything else here?
Shout out to Liz out in Texas again, the homegirl.
Liz from Texas. All right, y'all. We'll see you next Sunday, y'all. Take care.
Thank you for listening to Valley Views on Radio Oli 101.5 FM KROJ. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Valley Views SFV. For all of our past episodes, check out our SoundCloud podcast at soundcloud.com/Valley Views.